Looking out into the dark, murky waters, one can't help but imagine what lurks just beneath the surface. These discoveries over the years have told us that there is more than just sea creatures and trash in bodies of water around the world. From forgotten cities to archaeological discoveries. Number 1. 200 people partying. In 2017, in Newcastle, United Kingdom, local authorities made a rather unusual discovery. It turns out that they encountered 200 people in the sewers. Yes, you heard right. What were they doing there? Turns out they were having a party. The police were shocked to discover that people were partying in the sewer at 4 a.m. When they interviewed one of the attendees, he even said that there was no unpleasant smell, allowing them to party as if nothing had happened. However, the authorities were not happy. In addition to disturbing local residents, these people were also putting themselves in danger. After this incident, authorities did not find people partying in the sewer again. We are left to wonder if they stopped doing it or if they simply became more clever at hiding. Number 2. Stray cow. Between 1,000 and 4,000 pounds, that's how heavy mature bulls are, while females weigh up to 2,400 pounds, depending on the species. Cows can measure up to 145 centimeters in height and have a body length of up to 250 centimeters. That being said, cows have no business inside a sewer, and yet a cow in Fujian province, China, was found stuck in a sewer. This incident occurred strangely more than a decade ago, involving a local farmer's cow, Shan Shu. Shan claimed that he spent 4 entire days trying to find his cow. By the 4th day, he was already losing hope of ever seeing a cow again. The cow called for help in an unusual way, with a loud moo. The villagers found her head poking out of an open manhole, surprised to see her there. Although cows do not usually fall into sewers, this one found itself in that situation without its owner knowing how. Fortunately, she was easily rescued and went back to grazing as if nothing had happened. Number 3. 400-year-old church. Perhaps this is one of the most incredible discoveries in this video. For many years, a church could be seen rising from the surface of the waters of one of the reservoirs in Mexico, or rather, the top of a church was accessible. This could only be reached by boat, and it is difficult to believe that the entire structure is beneath the waters. And yet, that is what a drought in 2023 revealed. That year, an intense heat wave spread in several parts of Mexico. The state of Chiapas was one of the most affected, leading many bodies of water in the area to reach dangerously low levels. The church, built in the 16th century by Dominican friars, was partially submerged for decades in the Nicoyo Reservoir. However, due to a drought, the entire structure was exposed. Originally, the church was a place of worship for the inhabitants of the village of San Encachila, but in 1966 it was deliberately flooded to build the Nicoyo hydroelectric dam. Number 4. Dinosaur footprints. I don't know about you, but I've always been fascinated with dinosaurs. It's incredible to see all the traces these incredible creatures left behind, from their bone fossils to their footprints. That's exactly what park rangers discovered at a Texas state park in 2022. This was possible because of a 2-year drought that hit the area with rising temperatures and significantly less rain. The river that runs through the park receded, with some parts drying up completely. This revealed magnificent dinosaur footprints that experts believe are more than 113 million years old. The footprints discovered are probably from a creature called Acrocanthosaurus, a giant that lived in the forests of North America. It measured up to 15 feet tall and 38 feet long, weighing as much as 3 small cars. It had spines on its back that supported a muscular ridge, which is believed to have had several purposes, such as supporting its body or regulating temperature. Although it is not clear how he lived, his size and characteristics would have made him dominant in his time. Number 5. About 7,000 years ago the Guadalparo dolmen was created. This megalithic formation consists of 144 standing stones, some reaching up to 6 feet tall, arranged in a circular formation reminiscent of Stonehenge in England, earning it the same name. In addition to being known as the Guadalparo dolmen, this formation is also known as the Spanish Stonehenge. Although England's Stonehenge is more famous and iconic, the Guadalparo dolmen was built first. However, like Stonehenge, the purpose of the dolmen remains a mystery. Archaeologists believe it could have been a tomb, a site for religious rituals, or even a trading center due to its strategic location near the river. The structure was so significant that its builders transported granite stones from miles away to create it. But to this day we are not completely sure. This monument was first found and excavated in the 1920s by German archaeologist Hugo Obermeier, but its significance was not fully understood. In 1963, the megalithic structure was deliberately flooded to build the Valdecañas Reservoir. For decades, the Guadalparo dolmen was underwater, only visible in parts. However, in 2019, a drought hit Europe and Spain was affected. The Guadalparo dolmen fully emerged, generating new interest in its study and requests for its relocation to protect it. However, moving an archaeological site is difficult, and to this day, the Spanish Stonehenge remains in place, only visible when the waters recede. Number 6. It may sound like something crazy, but mole people are ordinary human beings who have chosen, or rather have been forced, to live as moles in the expansive underworld of Las Vegas. Beneath all the glitter and delight on its surface, there are people trapped in the most difficult and desperate circumstances. These are the so-called mole people. They occupy Las Vegas' network of tunnels and forgotten service passageways. Sadly, these types of people are not limited to the United States. Often, they are individuals who, for various reasons, have found themselves living in these underground spaces. This includes the homeless, runaways, and even those seeking a life away from society's gaze. The underground offers a form of shelter from the elements, a degree of privacy and, in some ways, security from the challenges faced on the streets. Living in the shadows is difficult. These places are often dangerous, without amenities, and often illegal to live in. The stories of people living underground gained attention in the 1990s thanks to Jennifer Toth's book, The Mole People: Life in the Tunnels Beneath New York City. The experiences of those who live in this underground world captivated the public. However, decades later, these people still remain in different parts of the world, hiding in the darkness, and hoping that the rain does not wash away their modest shelters made of cardboard and other waste. Number 7. Walking around Australia, you would hardly want to encounter a creature so huge that kangaroos seem harmless in comparison. Throughout most of the Pleistocene period, which spanned from 1.6 million to 40,000 years ago, one could encounter a terrifying and enormously large creature in Australia known as the Diprotodon. This quadruped had a short body, tail, and thick limbs that resembled trunks. The ancient marsupial was 2 meters tall and weighed more than 2.5 tons. It's hard to believe that a marsupial could weigh more than the average car, but previous findings suggest that Australia was once a land inhabited by strange and unique animals, including diprotodons. This ancient marsupial, 200 times larger than its modern relatives such as wombats and koalas, could have caused ecological problems due to its large appetite for leaves and shrubs. Although they were thought to be harmless, they lived in groups near water, avoiding hills because of their limited mobility. Although they were large, they were believed to be shy and avoided predators. Aboriginal people lived peacefully with them, but the species is now extinct, leaving only bones. Whether they hunted or preyed on humans remains a mystery. It is hoped that scientists will be able to answer these questions in the future. Number 8. In the remote areas of Western Australia, in the middle of arid lands, lies the site of the oldest meteorite impact, the Yarrabubba crater. Geological studies have established that this formation arose just over 2.2 billion years ago, possibly ending a global glacial period. Currently, it is the oldest discovery on Earth found by scientists. To obtain more precise results on the age of Yarrabubba crater, scientists used regional mineral samples, especially zircon and monazite, which contain uranium with a known decay rate. Despite sounding simple, the process involved advanced scans with modern equipment. The crater, which used to be 70 kilometers in diameter, is now gradually shrinking, currently being a small red hill called Barron Hill. Although it may disappear over time, the value of the discovery persists, since the meteorite impact caused significant climate changes that influenced the subsequent development of the Earth and its life. Without this event, the Earth could have remained in a frozen state without experiencing global warming. Number 9. In 2020, a team of paleontologists from Monash University in Melbourne carried out excavations that led to the discovery of some of the oldest fossils found in Australia. A surprising and somewhat unseemly find shocked scientists when they discovered a piece of amber with a rare composition. The most amazing thing was that the stone preserved mating flies, estimated to be about 40 million years old. Amber is a remarkable material capable of preserving organisms trapped inside. In Australia, amber is considered extremely rare, so the excavation results were surprising not only with the flies discovered, but also with thousands of pieces of stone hidden underground. In addition to flies, other well-preserved organisms were found in the amber, which will allow a better understanding of Australia's ecosystem and the study of the insects that lived there 40 million years ago. Number 10. This spider could be the main source of fear for any arachnophobe, since its size is astonishing. A hand-sized fossil was discovered not long ago, but it could diversify the evolution of spiders in Australia, showing how the continent has changed over time. The giant trapdoor spider is especially significant as it is only the fourth fossilized arachnid discovered on the Australian continent. This is the first fossil of a trapdoor spider from the family Barrichellidae, found by world experts. The new species has officially been named Megamonodon cluskii after Dr. Simon Kluski, who discovered this specimen. Between 11 and 16 million years ago, the second largest trapdoor spider fossil was discovered on Earth. This creature is 5 times larger than similar species today, although its body has a diameter of about 2.5 centimeters and legs of approximately 5 centimeters. These dimensions are notable for a spider. The discovery offers information about the past of these spiders. 15 million years ago, Australia's dense rainforests were transformed into deserts by Miocene droughts, and the Monodon and Megamonodon spiders disappeared. Its smaller relatives survive today in Indonesia, Singapore, and Papua New Guinea. Finding fossils of trapdoor spiders is difficult, since they hide in burrows, which does not favor fossilization. It is unlikely to find more fossils of these spiders due to these conditions. Number 11. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, the renowned composer, left an indelible mark on the world of music despite his short life of 35 years. His prodigious talents, which included an exceptional musical ear and improvisation skills, led him to become the youngest member of the Bologna Philharmonic Academy at the age of 14. Centuries after his death, Mozart's compositions continued to captivate audiences around the world. Contrary to the conventional perception of a classical musician, Mozart's personality was far from ordinary. In addition to his masterpieces, he wrote several songs with unconventional and even vulgar themes. In 1782, he composed a musical canon featuring 6 themes, but the somewhat indecent title led the publisher to modify the lyrics to ensure wider acceptance. Another of his compositions humorously focused on the act of going to the bathroom without getting out of bed. Some of these pieces were crafted for friends, while others provocatively challenged social norms, despite their musical refinement. Mozart's playful and occasionally outrageous taste in his compositions remains a fascinating aspect of his legacy. Number 12. Pharaoh Pephadu, long-serving ruler of the Egyptian Empire, had notable peculiarities. At an early age, he ascended the throne, succeeding his brother Marinera. Throughout his 94-year reign, Pephadu displayed an aversion to flies, to the point of requiring his slaves to cover themselves in honey to attract the insects during expeditions. This contrasted with the belief of some Egyptians who saw flies as symbols of tenacity and honored them with golden fly awards. They also created amulets against flies, seeking protection against bites. These contrasts illustrate the peculiarities of the life of Pephadu in ancient Egypt.